Well, we're over halfway through October, and I know that you guys love your tricks and treats, which is exactly why most of my videos uploaded this month have been related to spooky moments of Zelda, from discussing the ghost of Link's Awakening to the origins of Malice, most prominently seen in Breath of the Wild. But those pale in comparison to the scariest topic covered this month: Mario Kart Tour's microtransactions. But I got some good news for you all. These darker theories aren't over yet. I got a few other videos cooking up for the rest of the Halloween season, but today we're going to revisit a topic that has already been covered. There's a YouTuber known as SwankyBox who uploaded this video back in July. He discussed one of the darker moments of the series, where after Ganondorf pursues Zelda and Impa, you can go to the back alleyway of Castletown and find this wounded soldier. The guard vaguely describes what events took place at Hyrule Castle, and then briefly spazzes out before collapsing. If the player tries talking to him, we get the following dialogue: "He's not moving anymore." Even if you leave this part of the town and return, you'll be greeted with the same message. The guard could have passed out for a brief moment, but the darker implication here is that he died shortly after talking to Link. What's strange about this series of events is how unchanged the town is. Everyone continues to live their normal lives without the knowledge of what's happening at Hyrule Castle. Some of them comment about witnessing the princess being chased by a man on a black horse, but that's the most information we get. YouTuber SwankyBox believes that this was a mistake by the developers, that this guard was supposed to be a part of a town state which was removed in the final version, a state that would take place between the castle town we see as young Link and the ruined one 7 years in the future. But there's one other possibility, one that I believe is the truth, and it relates to something said in his video.
If he was trying to warn people or something, a healthy guard probably would have ran there. There's literally a healthy guard still standing by on the path to the castle too. So Ganondorf's men could have been an internal castle-based event, but this guard is an outlier.
When Zelda and Impa are fleeing from the castle, we only see one individual in pursuit, that person being the Gerudo King Ganondorf. But the guard mentions other followers of him who were chasing the princess. Exploring the town along with the exterior of Hyrule Castle implies that nothing is out of the ordinary. All of the townspeople and soldiers are where they're supposed to be, with no signs of the men who were supposedly after Zelda and Impa. It's impossible to investigate the castle's interior, as there will always be two guards stationed at the entrance. So the events described by the deceased soldier must have taken place within the castle walls. This was indeed an internal castle-based event. Now, if we are to assume that this NPC wasn't a mistake, then why did he retreat to die alone in the back alley of the town? First, we must know more about the Gerudo. This tribe consists solely of women, with the exception of a rule. Every 100 years, a male is born into the race who is destined to become the king. Ganondorf is this generation's ruler, and therefore the only existing male. And this is where things get interesting, and also why it's important to pay attention to the context of dialogue. The following words are spoken by the guard. "Zelda's nanny, Impa, sensed danger and escaped from the castle with our princess. I tried to stop Ganondorf's men from chasing them." There are two different perspectives to this quote. Contrary to what some people believe, the term guys can be taken as a group of people consisting of multiple genders. This same logic applies to the use of men. One of the definitions of this term is a human being of either sex, a person. That is a possibility. But what if we looked at it from the other meaning? If all of Ganondorf's followers really were men, then it couldn't have been the Gerudo. This hypothetical army would have had to have been made up of other races. And if his tribe really did attack the castle, there would have certainly been an uproar at the town. The Gerudo had respected Ganondorf, but only became hostile to the player once Nabooru was brainwashed. She was the second in command, and therefore they followed her orders while under the influence of Twin Rova's dark magic. Nabooru hated the king because he stole from women and children, going as far as to kill people. When you talk to her in the Spirit Temple, the term Ganondorf's followers is frequently used. who sides with him isn't limited to those of the Gerudo. But if it wasn't them, then who infiltrated the castle? There are two possibilities. The Gerudo warrior states that Ganondorf and his minions were using the Spirit Temple as a hideout. The men mentioned by the soldier could have simply been creatures that dwell within the dungeons, or even Ganondorf's surrogate mothers Kome and Kotek. But again, there are no signs of monsters within the town walls. Enter the second and most likely answer. Ganondorf's attempt to capture Princess Zelda was an inside job. The men referenced weren't monsters, but soldiers of Hyrule Castle. And if this was true, it would explain a lot, such as why the soldier is found in the back alley of the town. If some sort of treason had occurred and the guard was injured from protecting Zelda and Impa, it wouldn't be safe to stay in the castle. He retreated to the town because he didn't know who to trust. Soldiers would either be for or against the King of Hyrule. Another detail worth mentioning is how this individual was aware of Zelda's plan to give an important object to Link, even instructing the boy to head to the Temple of Time if he already had it in his possession. You'd think that this information would be confidential, even for the castle guards. So perhaps this one in particular had an undying loyalty to the royal family, being trusted by Zelda enough to know of her plans. If he was captured within the castle, he may have been tortured for this information. Instead, he chose to die alone in a back alley. Something interesting to note is how there are no guards or soldiers ever watching Princess Zelda. That role is fulfilled by only one person, Impa of the Forgotten Sheikah tribe. The Sheikah served the royal family for many generations, and she's the same person who teaches Link the ancient melody passed down by the royal family. Only those with close ties to the family know of the song. Zelda was capable of seeing future events in the form of dreams. It was a prophecy foretelling the arrival of Link and how he was fated with the task of defeating evil. This same ability might have warned the princess to not trust the guards of the castle. Ganondorf would have had plenty of chances to manipulate the soldiers to side with him. He was able to get an audience with the king, so it would have been easy to infiltrate the ranks with his own men, whether they join him out of fear or promises of riches. One great example is Ingo, who took over Talon's farm following the Gerudo King's rise to power. The land was given to him by Ganondorf, and Ingo planned on presenting him with a fine horse and win recognition. His life before these events was difficult since he did most of the work while Talon would nap, and this is why he was the perfect target for the Gerudo warrior. His loyalty would have easily been won over since Ingo got exactly what he wanted. It's not too crazy to think that a similar thing was done with the soldiers and guards. Or perhaps these people were forced to work with the king. We find out that Nabooru was brainwashed by Kome and Kotek, to the point where she even fought Link disguised as an Iron Knuckle. Were some of the soldiers also brainwashed to follow Ganondorf's every command? This all explains why Ganondorf even tried to capture the princess. She tells the player that she informed her father of the dream she had, and warned him of Ganondorf's evil intentions. This information had to have reached him somehow, and he would have taken it seriously, especially if it was a prophecy foretelling his betrayal. If the cane is regularly guarded, then they are the only others who know of Zelda's dreams. Thus, he targeted the princess but failed to catch her. But the saddest part about this is the fate of the soldier. He tells us that it wasn't just Ganondorf, but multiple people who were after Zelda and Impa. But in the cutscene, we only see the former chasing the duo. Whether his men died or just stopped pursuing, the guard succeeded in defending Zelda. He died fulfilling his duty as a soldier of the royal family. It's very bittersweet, but if not for this guard, then the princess may have been captured by Ganon's forces. The chain of events leading up to Ocarina of Time may have been very different if this were to happen, but luckily this man's burden was passed to the hero of time, who would finish the job by slaying the Demon King and rescuing the princess, restoring Hyrule to its former glory. He did not die in vain, going down as the one guard who actually did his job. Well, only if we ignore the outcome of the Fallen split and focus on the child and adult timelines. And you know what? I'll do just that. Thank you all for watching today's video. Ocarina of Time was the first Zelda game I beat, and I hope to cover more theories on it in the future. If you want to see SwankyBox's video on the topic, I'll have it linked in the description. In the meantime, let me know what your favorite secret or Easter egg is in Zelda. If you have any theories or video ideas, then post them down in the comments. Reminder that I did recently open a PO box in case you want to send me anything, and links to Twitter and Discord are down below. Thanks to all my patrons. I appreciate your support each month. Click the link below to make a donation yourself, but never feel obligated to do so. Thanks for watching, and have a great week.